I'm going to share some tips and tricks on SMS marketing, how to use it, how to win more quotes and increase your price. Hang around and I'll show you how. So what is SMS marketing? It's simply this. It's sending a message to a client via SMS. Now, in my phone, I have an iPhone. We have an application or an app called Notes. I believe in Android, it's called OneNote. And this is what I want you to do. I want you to open that up and put in a whole bunch of messages. So let's say, for instance, you get an inbound call from a client and you can't take the call, but you know who they are, or even if it rings through and goes to message, what I want you to do is go into Notes, copy paste, and do something like this. Hi, this is Peter, or whatever your name is, and I would say from Rent, Sell, Buy, Move. We're currently with a client and we're sorry we missed your call. I'll look forward to speaking to you within the next, could be 1 hour, 2 hours, whatever it is. If there's anything that you need me to know first, just SMS back and you send that off to them. And what that means is really, really quickly, you've made contact with that client, even though you don't necessarily know who they are, and you're professional. Secondly, it can be used like this. Someone calls you and they might say, hey Pete, we want window cleaning down. How much is it to clean windows? Well, here's the key thing. I never ever answer the question because you know what? Quoting over the phone can be a bit like mailing a haircut. It can be impossible. So this is what I say to them is, hey John, I'd love to give you a quote over the phone, but I don't even know what your property looks like. What I'm going to do is send you through an SMS message. It will ask you to do one of the following things. It'll describe to you the photos we want of your property, so I get the clients to take photos of the outside of their property. Just text them back through to me, and while you're there, follow the link. So I tell them there's a link in the SMS that actually shows and explains how we do our service. Here's the thing, is that they get familiar with your professionalism even though they haven't met. They're going to be ringing around other guys. They're going to be going, $95 to do your windows, or $250 to do your windows. First of all, they don't know what their property looks like. They don't know what type of frames they are the trees, shrubs, all of that sort of stuff. And they actually don't explain their process. Here's the key thing, is that we use the videos we create, and I do all mine on my iPhone and edit on my iPhone. And it's really, it's my dog, Billy. We do all of that and we put it in YouTube. Now, YouTube is for free. You can have your own channel. SMSing is for free. And so what I do is I send it off to them. They can go into it and see what we do. Here's the key thing, is that they become familiar with you. They become sold on you because not only are you telling them the process that you'll work by, it's professional, you are showing them ahead of time what they can expect. And I had one example of a guy in southeastern suburb called Berwick in Melbourne. He just bought a huge double-storey home. It was about 10 or 12 years old, used to be a display home. And he wanted me to quote sprucing it up. And this was really interesting. A lot of people who buy homes just want to move in. This guy wanted it spruced up in the way that he likes. So his name was Ravi. I said, hey Ravi, I'm happy to come out and do a quote. In fact, I'm going to be in another area that was only 5 or 6 kilometres away from where he was. How about I come after 4 o'clock? He goes, great. I said, in the meantime, I'm going to send you a text. Follow the link in there and it'll show you what we do to bring properties onto market. And here's the thing, is that even though he was bought a home from self to move in, the way he was talking was if he was a vendor selling it. So it all just sort of made sense. So anyway, I sent it through to him and arrived at 4 on the dot. He opened the door, great big smile. He said, hey, Pete, I saw your video. He goes, mate, you look exactly like who you are. He goes, I'm going to introduce you to my wife. I think her name was Preeta. So he introduced me to Preeta, and we're walking around, having a look at the property. It was a huge house. It was actually even bigger than he described, much, much bigger. And he said, hey, I want to tell you something. He goes, watched your video, and his wife Preeta said, yeah, I watched it too. It was fantastic. He goes, I only want you to do it. He goes, I had 2 other guys coming. He goes, I'm Indian. And he goes, we get quotes and everything. He goes, lots of them. I go, I'm Greek. We do exactly the same thing. So, you know, it's the same culture there. And it's like, and he goes, mate, I cancelled them. And I said, oh, why? He goes, after watching what you do, he goes, there's no doubt that you know what you're on about. And he goes, I'd already booked a painter to come and do that. He goes, I want your painters to do it. So he actually cancelled his painter. And over the next day and a half, we put all the quote together. So this was on a Tuesday and we began on a Thursday. We began really early. We worked through part of the night into the next day. And because of that video link, we added just under 12 grand to our bottom line out of something that just came out of nowhere. So here's the key thing. Use what's free. Leverage yourself. I'm going to show you just some of the templates that I use. Feel free to copy paste and use them for yourself. Now, some of you may be a little bit worried about how do I do videos. I do all my videos on my mobile phone. I have a really cheap stand. The one that I'm using at the moment costs less than 50 bucks. Honestly, you can buy them for 20. So get yourself a stand. Doesn't matter if you stuff up, just get started. So put it together. I edit on my mobile phone. I use a thing called iMovie, whatever the equivalent is on Android. It's simply there. The only trick is this is being filmed in landscape, so it's long like that. A lot of you guys will film up the down. That's more for like TikTok and Insta. It's not really suitable for a professional video doing what we're going to do. And if you're going to film your own work, simply just set up your phone, film, make sure it's in landscape, which is what this is here. You know, if you're steam cleaning or you're doing windows or you're painting, whatever it is, just get a whole bunch of shots. And don't worry if it looks too professional. You're conveying something to a client. You're showing them that you can do something. And as you start to build some money, later on you can pay a videographer to come in, spend $1,000 or $2,000. And I know for some of you guys, spending $1,000 like, mate, I'm just making ends meet. Here's the thing. What I'm sharing with you will make you seem more professional without spending any more money on equipment. If you could increase your take home by as much as $100 to $200 a week, and you did that over 2 or 3 months, say you're talking 1,200 bucks, on top of what you're already doing, that is enough money to get you a videographer. Alternatively, it means you can go towards buying more equipment, easy to pay leases, maybe pay for a holiday at the end of the year. Anyway, just a thought. You can hit me up through email, you can give me a buzz. Probably the best way to do is go onto my website, which is Rent, Sell, Buy, Move. You can click through there, or my Facebook page, Rent, Sell, Buy, Move. Just click the tab, send a message through to me. Yeah, I'm just really open. Hopefully that's helpful. And yeah, look forward to seeing some of your results.